Good evening. Hong Kong stocks rebounded 1.1% on bargain hunting. H-shares put on 1.35%, and turnover was almost unchanged at $68 billion. Chi Ching Lee reports.
The Hang Seng Index crossed the 23,000 mark again, opening up 115 points or 0.5% at 23,015. This time it stayed above that level and finished at 23,156.
The next resistance level should be near to 23,200. I think in the short term, the liquidity is still thin, maybe not enough to flow into the market.
Index heavyweight HSBC resumed its upward trend, advancing 1.6% to 88.90, and was the biggest boost to the benchmark. Hang Seng Bank remained weak, shedding 1.2% to 120.50. China Construction Bank added 2.1% to 672. Among property plays, PCPD jumped 13% to 164, on news that it's selling assets in Beijing. Cherenkong meanwhile rose 2.5% to 121.40. But mainland developers were weak. China Overseas lost 0.9% at 13.14 after touching a one-year low. Lenovo Group rose 2.4% to 476 after U.S. personal computer maker Dell reported its net income more than doubled in the most recent quarter. Auto shares were weaker after Chinese vehicle sales data has spurred investor interest in the sector over the past two sessions. Brilliance China fell 4% to 625 after rising over 10% in the first 2 days of the week. BYD slumped 2.5% at 33.40, its lowest since July 2009, after reporting disappointing sales for January. Chi Ching Lee, TVB News.
The 10 actives, HSBC rose $1.40, Hutchison gained $2.60, China Life up 65 cents, Hong Kong X up $1, Ping An advanced $1.25. Red chips put on 0.5%, H-shares gained 1.3%. Shanghai A up 0.9%, Shenzhen A gained 1.7%. Markets across the region were mixed, with Tokyo and Singapore closing higher. There's an update on casino tycoon Stanley Ho's efforts to reclaim control of his gambling empire from some of his children and two of his 4 wives. Law firm Odom, Lee & Nee says it filed a new lawsuit in the High Court on behalf of Ho. It's the second time the firm has taken legal action to recover the stake held through Lansford and other means. The first suit was withdrawn after Ho and family members agreed to negotiate an agreement. Ho's lawyer, Gordon Odom, says 2 of Ho's daughters, Pansy and Daisy, have broken the promise to return the stake.
The writ is the same as last time, except that we've added 2 more actions against Pansy and Daisy. One is to protect Dr. Ho's interests in his other companies, and one is to recover shares that he held in STDM in his own name, which have somehow found their way into Lansford.
Hong Kong Electric today changed its name to Power Assets Holdings. Group Managing Director Chow Kai-sam said the new name reflects the group's increasingly diverse worldwide interest. The group's investment arm, formerly known as Hong Kong Electric International Limited, became Power Assets Investments. Hong Kong Electric was founded in 1889. U.S. stocks fell on Tuesday as the market consolidated after the recent rally, but the talks on Wall Street was about the future of New York Stock Exchange. Chi Ching Lee has more.
A surprisingly weak retail sales report drove stocks lower on Tuesday. U.S. shoppers increased their spending by just 0.3% in January, half of what economists had predicted, but the increase was the 7th in as many months. The Dow lost 41 points to close at 12,226. That's only the 3rd day this month the index has closed lower. NYSE Euronext and Germany's Deutsche Börse reached a final agreement on business combination to form the biggest exchange operator in the world. News of the $10.2 billion deal got a mixed response from traders and New Yorkers.
I think people have to recognize that exchanges and equity trades it's globalized. And we shouldn't be surprised to find an international ownership of an entity like this. I was heartened to hear that 55% of the new ownership will be American-based shareholders.
Some people may agree with it, some may not, but if the economy is going to be stretched around the world, and I think it's okay as long as it's monitored and regulated.
You care about the jobs. I mean, all these companies, the stock exchange used to be a not-for-profit, you know. It was a not-for-profit until a few years ago, but Now then they made it for profit, and now all these exchanges are merging.
Investors pushed shares of the NYSE Euronext down by more than 3%, and Germany shares of the Deutsche Börse fell as well. Chi-Cheng Li, TVB News.
US dollar against the yen 83.6, euro 1.35, sterling 1.61. Hong Kong dollar exchange rates: US dollar 7.78, Canadian 7.89, sterling 12.57, Australian 7.79, the yen 9.31, New Zealand 5.87, renminbi 84.57, euro 10.54. And that's the financial report. Thanks for watching. Good night.